Wherever they run, I will find them.
Shock dart.
Soulcast on the side needs to find more. Penny, he's blinded, he can't see enough of it. And now there's desperation being shown by V1, but time, it's dwindling. Link finds Penny, and this is all it comes down to. Effie's, can you deny it now? Oh, he's gonna rip Soulcast away, and they've gone and done it.
It's late May 2021. Masters Reykjavik, the first international LAN in Valorant ever. The biggest event in the esports history, and North America's second seed has just shocked the world.
All I'm going to say is, North America, you have a team to be truly proud of in this. Again,
Yes.
stand-in coming in. That's already a ridiculous issue. And bear in mind, it was one of the big components of what created them being those meta-defining players, right? That Viper suddenly removed, they came through in place of a lot of what people would have expected to be other teams representing North America. And they take down arguably one of the best in Europe, and they do it in that fashion. That is truly something to be proud of for them.
This is the story of a Cinderella team who no one thought would even make it to the dance. The story of an underdog in cat ears. The story beyond the clip of version 1's improbable run to Masters and their unforgettable upset when they got there. Version 1's initial Valorant lineup was announced on February 9th, 2021, only 3 days before North America's Stage 1 Challengers 2 qualifier. The 5 players sporting the purple V all had at least one thing in common: a prior career in CSGO. In-game leader Vanity transitioned from Counter-Strike to Valorant just a month before. This was after taking his former CSGO team Chaos Esports Club to first place finishes in IEM Beijing Online North America and DreamHack Masters Winter North America in 2020. Penny was coming off a second place finish at that same IEM Beijing Online event with his former CS team Triumph. Then there was Zelsis, who joined following a brief stint with a Valorant stack named Orglis5 after retiring from CSGO in September of 2020. Effie's, by contrast, had been a Valorant pro virtually since day one in April of 2020, boasting a 6-month run with Gen G, with whom he won the T1 Nerd Street Gamers Invitational. And Player 1, another Gen G Valorant veteran, rounded out the roster.
We all kind of meshed pretty fast, personality-wise, I think. I think it took a while for maybe not all of us. I think all of us kind of bought into like the way that I liked IGL pretty early. But I think just having 5 people who believe in each other is like the biggest reason we've had success we've had so far.
At least initially, things just didn't seem to click, and V1's Challengers 2 and 3 open qualifier runs were ground to a halt by FaZe Clan and then TSM. Masters 1 was well out of their reach.
And it's something completely different. It's a play towards B. A had been the spot for them in regulation. Now looking to get aggressive over here towards Switch. Color and Hayes gonna find the first couple, and they're just starting to get mowed down. It's all down to 1, but Drone will close it out with the 2K, and TSM will finally find their way into a close qualifier.
But 2 months later, at the qualifier for North American Stage 2 Challengers, version 1 showed their first signs of life, knocking out Renegades and then scoring a revenge victory over FaZe Clan. But still, no one really believed that they'd be the ones headed to Masters.
On the knife's edge now, V1, they need this to close things out. Vanity finds another. It's all up to Zachary. He's been huge so far, but it's Penny. Gets the classic out. Zachary, see you later, and V1. They've got time for the defuse. They win in OT on map 3. They finally toppled FaZe.
Do we really think this is the team that will be representing North America? Just because, as you sort of mentioned, like a lot of the earlier stages of this team, it became a real grind.
During the first leg of the North America Stage 2 Challengers, version 1 took an early loss to Team Envy and only just managed to qualify for the finals. Still, 4th place was good enough for a chance at the first international LAN in Valorant history. Masters 2. There was just one problem. On April 16th, the team announced the departure of Player 1, less than 2 weeks before they were set to compete. The gap in V1's roster wouldn't be filled until 12 days later, when Whippy, a Russian former Counter-Strike pro, joined as the team's new 5th member at the 11th hour. And at the Stage 2 Challengers Finals, things did not start off on a high note. Version 1 lost to Sentinels in the first round, bumping them to the lower bracket and pushing them to the brink of elimination.
Version 1 essentially has to keep up that spirit for that losers bracket, because now it's just starting to get rough. That Astra still has more util. They're blowing it in. Whippy waiting up for a couple of pixels. Nice shots to the head from Sick, finishes it off. Sentinels, they pull it back from a 1-0 deficit up to 2-1. And just like that, Sentinels are only 2 best of 3s away from Iceland.
But with their backs against the wall, they activated.
They just have to hold it. Yeah, it's a big eventually.
Oh, no way, that's huge. Yeah, he's gotta play. He's gotta play! Shoulder peaks are quite annoying, but still, no one's dead yet. Penny does fall, though he doesn't! Oh my goodness!
This is a very scary spot here. Goth Guard to go down. Mummy tries to back away. 15 health. FB's just trying to play the clock, and he's doing it so darn well. He gets it done in version 1 for the lead. Boys with the Blade Storm. Looking for one. Wise to the discipline corner. No, Penny's good for it. Ladies and gentlemen, version 1, do it. Grab your passports. Pack your bags. You're going to Iceland.
In what would become something of a trend for the team, version 1 defied the odds. After a lower bracket run that saw them force their way through the likes of Anbox, NRG, Team Envy, and Cloud9 Blue, the roster that never made it out of the open qualifiers in Stage 1 were in the grand finals of Stage 2 Challengers.
I have no idea who to actually favor, because I feel like version 1 has been smashing all expectations, and it does feel like the sky's the limit right now for them.
It certainly does. And if there are any of you out there who are still sleeping, who still doubt what V1 has done, what they're doing, look, man, if you haven't caught on to it now, this series might be what shows you that they're in fact never done and they're not going away. As you said, I think there's honestly a bit of benefit to that for V1 too, is in that they can play loose, right? Like, what do you got to lose, right? If nothing else, expectations are all against you. That pressure's gone. It's like, yeah, let's shock the world a little bit, right?
And more importantly, they were officially headed to Reykjavik, Iceland for Masters 2. But as if fate itself were against them, V1 were thrown yet another curveball. Thanks to unforeseen visa issues, Whippy couldn't travel to Iceland. On May 13th, Jammies, formerly of Beast Coast, joined V1 in his place.
It sucks. Yeah, right. Like, you'd rather have the person you've been practicing with, but at the end of the day, you just have to make do with what you have, and I think we do a good job at that.
With the presence of a last-minute emergency substitute and surrounded by the world's best teams at Valorant's biggest ever stage, odds weren't exactly in version 1's favor in Iceland.
Version 1 effectively ran the gauntlet through the challenger stages to get here.
Yes.
Literally had to fight tooth and nail in every series versus some teams that I think preemptively a lot of people would have written them off against. Then to add to that, they have an emergency sub issue on top. I think version 1 will be the team under the most pressure to deliver here at Reykjavik, because they've made that dream run, right? Now they've almost kind of set that storyline in motion, and now they just kind of need to get over the final hurdle. And really, when you throw all those other kind of variables on top of then coming to LAN and it being, the synergy issues obviously are going to be apparent with somebody that was such a pivotal part of this roster. It really does beg the question, what else have they got left to give? What's left in the tank?
On May 24th, version 1 began their Masters journey with a solid 2-0 victory against Japanese side Crazy Raccoon.
Eagle peeking the edge, man. That's potentially going to get backstabbed, and he does. He's left wide open here with Vanity drifting away from yellow.
But look who's waiting. Vanity. Say hello to his little friend. That's going to be one. The second of AIDS, but now a 1v3. Still looking rough. But Rion wants to fight. They're just on the other side of that smoke. All 3 players are here. Rion, how much can you do? Nothing at all. V1. Just stop before it starts. Version 1 lock out the game at the very end. I felt that comeback could have happened, but no, they just completely stomp it down off the back of some brilliant work from Penny.
But that play and confidence boost set them on a collision course with Team Liquid, the first seeded team from Europe and one of the favorites to take the whole tournament. The real gut check had finally arrived for the little roster that could. And in Map 1, after a heart-wrenching overtime, it was version 1 who took the first L.
We're down to just Penny now. Needs to find some brilliance here in these moments. A tag on Scream is good, but every second that closes, you're gonna have Link just filling the void. Isolates one, sprays on the second. Scream says no, and Liquid take the lead. That's not over just yet, but Penny's in the back of the site. They haven't checked on Pillar. Penny could run rampant with this. That's gonna be 1, 2. Oh, it's all Penny's! 3 out of nowhere, and he's gonna sit it. They know that Soulcast is a mile away, and Penny is just bailing V1 out time and time again. If he gets to step in, but he has to do something unthinkable here. The attention gets drawn, Vanity finds 2. It's still game on until Link says no. Team Liquid somehow pull this away from V1. I genuinely believe that comeback was happening, but Team Liquid stand tall in Map 1.
Once again, the North American side found themselves with their backs against a wall, staring down the barrel of tournament elimination on Team Liquid's own map pick. And with their master's dream hanging in the balance, version 1 stepped up.
Just clotheslines him down, and Effie's from the back of the site keeps cool, calm, and collected and puts the first on for V1. He wants the second, not gonna get it. Cryptic's now in a 1v2. V1 says no, and version 1 gonna make it to 5. This is impeccable work from the boys. Now 2v2, Soulcast and Cryptics, what can they do with this? They're not in the ult, they're on the side, they're gonna see Jammy's there, they now know, but Jammy's takes the fight on Cryptics. Soulcast can't do it. It's on Jammy's to save V1 here. This crossfire's good to hold. Gonna be tough to try and do anything with. Scream's found Effie's, hold on. Penny gonna find Link, but he has to still find Scream, buys the time. Penny doing the dance. Scream gets him, but time has dwindled away, and the calm, collected approach from Penny is more than enough to bring us to 12 for V1.
Ascent was balanced on a razor's edge, back and forth, with each team trading haymakers with the other. And in the end, it all came down to one incredible round. One defuse that had to be stuck before Team Liquid could force OT. Before they could go on to potentially beat V1, bump them to the lower bracket, and move on to fulfill what everyone knew was their destiny. But that's not what happened.
Soulcast has made his way down, but it's that Viper's ultimate that's going to be a problem. Yampy walks in, gets met with a bullet to the brain from Penny, and now 4v4 starts to ensue. Penny again, though, finds the space, gets Cryptic. Soulcast, quick reply, and there goes the ultimate. Soulcast on the side needs to find more. Penny is blinded, he can't see enough of it, and now there's desperation being shown by V1, but time, it's dwindling. Link finds Penny, and this is all it comes down to. Effie's, can you deny it now? Oh, he's going to rip Soulcast away, and they've gone and done it!
By the time Map 3 started, it was all a formality. Team Liquid was broken. Effie's shock dart clutch and all the incredible plays that came before it seemed to drain the life from the European side.
It's all about them trying to bide the time towards A as well. They've got to hinder this approach, and Soulcast, the flank's so good here. Does he decide to go for this now?
Delete the game. Delete the game. Delete the game. Production. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Team Liquid manager here. Please delete the game. Please.
Version 1 kicked down the doors with a resounding 13-4 victory, knocking Liquid into the lower bracket in perhaps the biggest major upset in competitive Valorant history.
Swinging through, Zelda's going to trade out finally.
He's detained. He's got to stand as watch as V1 against all the odds, against all the doubt, rise above and bring the first win for North America above Europe.
You still sort of expected Liquid to then come out on top. And then you watch that first map of Split and you go, oh dear God, like that that was so close. Surely that, like, now they go on to Ascent, which I believe up until that point with this roster, Liquid had never lost. They had never lost on Ascent. This includes matches versus Fnatic, all the best teams in Europe, EMEA, versus the Turkish teams who are very, very good at Ascent. They'd never lost. So we went into that match as the sort of like the European side of the broadcast and went, you know what? They've squeezed through Split. That wasn't great. But now they go onto their home turf. And they lost that. And I think that was the moment. Like you talk about, at the end of the series. But for me, that was the moment where I went, oh God, like this V1 team is much better than we were expecting them to be, especially versus someone as good as Liquid.
And although version 1 eventually met their tournament demise at the hands of Fnatic in the lower bracket, and Vanity has since moved on to join Cloud9 Blue, the incredible upset they pulled against Team Liquid, and the underdog runs that preceded it, won't soon be forgotten.